Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. So the first half of our practice, we've vinyasa flow more active, and the second half is yin and restorative, for which you'll want to have some additional props. So begin with 2 blocks and a strap. If you have anything that you can use at home that's like that, doesn't have to be exactly blocks, and a pillow and blanket. If you have additional pillows and blankets, that might be helpful too. Please start in a comfortable seat of your choice. Sit in a way that you can feel upright in your spine, relaxed in your body, maybe even shift your weight around so that you can spread the weight more evenly through the bottom of your pelvis on the left and the right sides. So we've been through quite a bit in this past week, from the lunar eclipse to the full moon to the elections to the rain if you're in LA and whatever parts of the world might be rainy too, and whatever else happened in your life. So I thought it would be an opportune time to go ahead and do some heart opening. And here's a little bit about the heart chakra, Anahata chakra, which sits at the area of the center of your chest, the center of your upper back, and governs the element of air, as this is also where your lungs are located. So various breathing techniques are helpful to activate and balance the energy of your heart. The thymus gland sits here too, which is an important part of your immune system function, and your heart organ, of course. And all the areas surrounding are also connected. Here's a little more from the book Essential Chakra Meditation, written by April Fender. The heart chakra is your gateway to your soul, home to your amorous energies. The heart chakra is where gratitude, compassion, patience, acceptance, joy, and love reside. This center is a sacred space that connects you to all other living things. Balance within this chakra means judgments, fears, disappointments, needless suffering, and attitudes of victimization are cleared. When you are anchored in a place of unconditional love for yourself, your heart chakra vibration will radiate and begin to heal not only your physical body, but also the bodies of all beings everywhere, especially those to whom you are personally connected. I read about the heart chakra from another book last Wednesday, I believe it was, in class, and it was talking about how love is a unifying force. And interestingly, the word yoga means union. So let's get into the practice. Sit in a way that you can be still, maybe close the eyes, and start to scan in your mind's eye your physical body, bringing your attention to places where you feel peace and open, as well as places in which you might feel heaviness, discomfort, or tension. So expanding loving awareness without judgment to accept what's present for you right now. Bring your awareness to your natural breath and observe its qualities, like its pace, depth, anything you can feel about the breath. So that by observing your breathing, you can notice your energetic state of being. Now bring your attention to your mind. What is it focused on? Is it feeling focused or scattered? No judgment, just observing. As you sense the activity and energy of your mind, notice how you feel mentally and emotionally right now. So now bringing loving attention to what you're working with as you begin your yoga practice, stoking the energy of your heart fire. What is one thing that you could offer gratitude for in this moment? So from a uplifted state of gratitude, begin to clarify one thing you would like to set an intention about. Maybe is there any area in which you want to bring a sense of unity? if love is a unifying force, where would you like to bring things together in different aspects of your life? Or if that doesn't apply to you directly right now, what is it that you want to focus on and cultivate? Invite into your experience even after this practice. And then let in a deeper inhale. Feel your lungs gently expand the walls of your rib cage all around. As you exhale through the mouth, release any sound that may need to move through you. Again, inhaling a little bit deeper, a little slower, expanding your lungs and down to the pit of your belly. Draw the exhale out, any sound, let it go. So let's prepare to chant 3 ohms this time, a way of setting our intentions and creating resonance as we share a practice together. So inhale deeply. Start to slow down your breathing, closing your lips to help warm up your body. Begin to create a very gentle whispering sound like soft ocean waves rising and falling. As you sustain your breath evenly in and out through your nose. This is a style of breathing called Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breath. It's a means of regulating your nervous system to a state of calm and steadying your mind by anchoring it to the sound that you're intentionally creating in the breath. By keeping that sound balanced and steady and smooth, you're also regulating your energy, that you're not overexerting or underexerting as we use this breath to lead us into movement. So keep the sound rhythm going, and please start to make your way down onto your hands and your knees, tabletop pose. Spread your fingers really wide and see that your index fingers are pointing forward, not towards each other. Stack your shoulders right above your wrists, but step your knees a couple inches behind your hips. Now, as you listen to the breath, let's begin to move the spine to that pace. As you inhale, draw your heart through your upper arms and roll your shoulders behind you, gazing up into cow pose. As you exhale, slowly contract your abdomen, dropping your head, tucking your tailbone to round into cat pose. Then again, inhale, draw your sternum forward and peel your shoulders back and down, lifting the chest. Exhale again, contract your abdomen, slowly doming your back as you bow your head. Take a few more cycles on your own. This is called cat-cow pose or Betalasana. Remember that you are in your own lived experience of this practice, and you are also in control of using your discernment and changing the pace as you need, slowing down or adding more intensity or resting as often as you need. So remember what your intention is, your why for showing up, and keep reminding yourself so that you align your decisions with that. Spread the fingers really wide and flat so that the base of your thumb and index fingers are rooted firmly into the earth. At the end of your next exhalation, tuck your toes and lift your hips as high as you can towards your back wall, entering downward facing dog. Spend the first few breaths bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel into the earth, straightening that leg as you breathe. And then slowly switching legs so that you're walking in place, gently warming up your hamstrings and calves. Let your hands feel as if you're pushing the mat forward towards your front wall and underground, so that your hips do the opposite. They lift high and back, stretching your back as you drop your skull freely. Maybe even softly shake and nod your head a few times to help loosen your neck. Can you hear that ocean wave sound in your breath? Anytime you need to change up downward dog so that you're not putting as much weight on your hands, you can set your knees on the ground like this, directly under your hips, and instead crawl the hands forward with the arms straight, creating a flat back as you bow while engaging your abdomen. So there are many variations of postures, making sure that you're choosing the one that aligns with you best in the moment. Take another deep breath, and at the end of the exhale, walk to the front of your mat to stand in a forward fold, bending your knees generously so that your spine can just unwind without tensing the back of your body. Separate your feet at least hips width apart and parallel to each other. Tilt your weight as far forward as you can balance, and then reach the hands behind your back, either holding a strap between your hands or interlacing your fingers. Then engaging your abdomen with knees still bent, inhale, lift your chest forward and roll the shoulders away from your neck. Keep the hands together, exhale, bow from your hips and completely drop your head. Let's stay in this forward fold a few deep breaths. Little by little, stretching your arms further away from your lower back to broaden the heart space at your chest. Bend your elbows slightly to lift the shoulders and free up space in your neck. Slow inhale, long exhale. Keep the rhythm going. Now release your arms and place your fingertips either on blocks in front of your feet, your shins or thighs, but not your knees, or the ground in front of you. With a slight bend in the knees, press your hands down and inhale, stretch your spine forward parallel to the floor, entering a half forward fold. Exhale, hinge from your hips, dropping your head into a forward fold. Let's try that again. Pressing with your hands to create traction. Inhale, lengthen your spine into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow towards your legs in Uttanasana. Press down to your feet and inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising to stand with the arms overhead. Roll your shoulders back and down, tilting your heart up in a gentle back bend. Exhale, unite your palms at your heart center. Pause a moment and remind yourself of your intention. What are you cultivating in this practice? Bring the energy of that into our first series of sun salutations, moving to the sound of your breath. As you inhale, sweep your arms forward and coil your chest up lightly, gaze up. This is called Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, hinge forward from your hips, then place your fingertips outside your heels, and inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, gaze up. Hold your breath as you step into plank pose, knees on the floor or legs straight. As you exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin. As you inhale, slither your belly to the ground and gently coil your chest up to cobra. As you exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Inhaling, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your back knee and gaze up. Exhaling, step your right foot forward and bow. Root down to your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and rise to stand in a gentle back bend. Exhale, connect your palms at your heart center. Let's try that again on the second side. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, lifting your chest and gaze. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step right knee back, gaze up in a kneeling lunge. Holding your breath, step into your version of plank pose. Exhaling, lower your knees, chest, then chin. Inhaling, slide to the floor, entering cobra pose, coiling your chest up. Exhaling, lift your hips high into downward facing dog. Inhaling, step your right foot beside your right thumb and lower your back knee, gazing up. Exhaling, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise to stand in Urdhva Hastasana again. Exhale, join your palms together at your heart. Sensing your energy now, are you beginning to warm up? Let's take it through another series of sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. Again, coil your chest up. Exhale, bow towards your legs. This time, press your legs, your blocks or the floor. And inhale, lengthen your spine to Ardha Uttanasana. Step back into plank pose. And as you exhale, glide forward slowly, bending the elbows to hug your ribs in Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower for cobra or flip the toes here. Inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. We're going to enter a vinyasa flow sequence that's kind of different from our usual sun salutations. So re-steady a few breaths here as you steady your gaze, your drishti, on one spot. We're going to go right into breath-led movement. So listen carefully. As you inhale, raise your right leg behind you, keeping the hips facing the ground. As you exhale, bend your right knee towards your nose, rounding forward, step the right foot gently beside your right thumb. Stay in a high lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, rising up to stand in crescent pose. Exhale, backstroke your right arm towards the rear wall and turn your chest to face the right wall, entering an upright twist, arms like a T. Inhale, backstroke the left arm towards the rear wall. Reach the right arm forward, entering warrior two. Spin the left heel down. Align right heel to the arch of your left foot. Exhale, keep the right knee bent and side bend towards your rear wall, entering peaceful warrior. Raising the right arm overhead. Inhale, lower your hands to the floor in plank pose. Exhale, glide forward through Chaturanga Dandasana, entering your vinyasa. Breathe in to lift the chest, cobra, or upward dog. Breathe out to lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a full cycle of breath, inhaling to the tops of your lungs, the pit of your belly. Exhaling slowly. Side two, same sequence. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend your left knee towards your nose, rounding into plank before stepping the foot beside your left thumb, high lunge. Inhale, press through your feet and rise up to crescent pose. Exhale, backstroke your left arm and twist to the left, keeping your spine vertical. Open the arms like a T. Inhale, backstroke the right arm, turning to your right in warrior two. Drop the right heel. Align left heel to arch of right foot. Exhale, side bend towards your rear wall, keeping the left knee bent as you sweep the left arm overhead. Inhale, place your hands on the ground, entering plank pose. Exhale, lower forward and into your vinyasa. Breathing into cobra or upward facing. Breathing out to downward facing. This time, if you need to rest, place your knees on the floor, take a moment in child's pose or sit. Otherwise, stay in downward dog and tune in to 3 deep breaths. Hopefully you're starting to get warmer like I am. We're gonna take that same sequence of vinyasa flow at least one more time on each side. So prepare. Back to downward dog, empty this breath. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, round forward, stepping the foot beside your right thumb, high lunge. Press to your feet, inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Exhale, backstroke your right arm, twist to face the right wall. Inhale, backstroke your left arm, drop the left heel, entering warrior two. Exhale, side bend towards your rear wall, entering peaceful warrior. Inhale, place your hands on the ground, entering plank pose. Continue to lower as you exhale, finishing your vinyasa. Sense the synchronization of your body to your breath. One deep breath in through the nose. You need to release any tension in the jaw, sigh out or flutter the lips. Second side. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, round forward and step the foot beside your left thumb into a high lunge. Inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Keep the spine upright. Exhale, twist to your left, opening the arms wide. Inhale, backstroke the right arm, turn to the right in warrior two. Exhale, side bend towards your rear wall in peaceful warrior. Inhale, touch the earth with both palms in plank. Exhale, continue to lower into your vinyasa. I'll meet you in downward dog. Pausing there, steady your gaze to help steady your mind on your breath and your body. Union. Please set your knees on the ground and take a block by the skinny width. Standing on your knees, prepare for one cycle of camel pose. So first, tuck your toes behind you. If you're needing some cushion for your knees, take your blanket and unfold it to the thickness that you need and place it under your knees. Now use the block by the skinniest width and hug it firmly between your knees and thighs. The purpose of the block is to help your outer hips hug your spine to support your lower back. Then backstroke your arms to prepare your shoulders, placing your hands on your lower back, fingertips face down. Use your hands to help you gently press your pelvis forward so it remains stacked above your knees rather than moving behind the knees like this. Also, use your hands to encourage your tailbone to continue lengthening downward rather than tilting backward, compressing the lower back. From here, take a deep breath and lift your chest. Roll your shoulder bones behind you and down, starting to lift the heart and gaze in your back bend. Camel pose. Give yourself 5 to 10 breaths here before you roll up and find a way to sit and rest. Now, if it's reachable, you could place one hand on one heel behind it and then switch hands. If you're keeping your hands on your lower back, by hugging your elbows closer together, you help to broaden your collarbones, creating that openness in the chest. So remember, the breath is connected to the energy of the heart. Use this pose to welcome deeper inhalations. The Sanskrit name of camel pose, Ustrasana. When you're done with 5 to 10 breaths, use your hands on your lower back to support you as you lift your spine upright. And you might like to use that block as a stool to sit on right between your ankles. Perhaps resting your hands at your heart center, close your eyes and notice how you're feeling right now as you allow 3 breaths. We've got one more active back bend. So let's come on down to our stomachs. Lying on the floor face down. Take your choice of bound locust pose. I'll show you both, or bow pose. To start by sliding your knees as close together as you can, spread your toes and root them firmly into the ground. Actively stretching your legs behind you. For bound locust, either interlace your fingers or hold a strap between your hands. And when you're ready, you'll lift up the chest. If you're needing lower back support, keep the feet on the floor. If your lower back feels fine, lift the legs like this. 5 to 10 breaths. Now, the other option is bow. in which you bend the knees, catch your inner or outer feet, and kick the feet away as you pull the feet towards your glutes, lifting the knees, no wider apart than hips distance, and coiling your chest up for 5 to 10 breaths. So set up in bound locust or bow, and when you're ready, lift up for 5 to 10 breaths. Make sure to open space, clear energy around the heart, neck, shoulders. So lift your sternum and let the heart lead rather than letting the chin lead, which can tense the neck, jaw, and shoulders. So bow pose in Sanskrit is called Dhanurasana, and locust is called Shalabhasana. When you're done, drop everything, be still and rest, observing the effects of that posture for 3 breaths. Place your hands on the floor alongside your floating ribs and gently press up to your hands and knees. Let's prepare to enter a counterbalancing posture as we enter our yin part of this practice. Let me just make sure we have the proper music for our yin. Okay, I think we're good. So choose how you want to practice thread the needle. Have a block or pillow within arm's distance so that you can use it in case you need it. So start on hands and knees with your shoulders on top of your wrists and your hips, your knees a couple inches behind the hips. Then either have both knees on the floor where you'll thread the right arm under the left elbow and rest the right side of the head down. Or if you're seeking to open up the inner right thigh, you could step the right foot out to the right, pressing the sole of the foot entirely on the ground and aligning the inner arch of your right foot with your left kneecap. Then inhale, raise the right arm. If you find that this version is too cumbersome to stay in, you can always replace the right knee on the floor. Thread your right arm under your left bent elbow. Lower the right ear all the way down. If it does not comfortably meet the ground, use your pillow, your block, whatever you have to rest your head on. Lifting your left elbow up, plant your left hand on the floor, and draw your shoulder blades down your back ribs, opening up space around the neck. Spread the shoulder blades apart by breathing into your upper back. Exhaling slowly. We have about 7 more breaths in this pose. So the yin part of our practice, which begins now, is much about cultivating stillness, welcoming deeper states of relaxation, letting go of resistance in the body, mind, or heart, preparing us to sit for meditation in the end. So if you find your attention wandering off from the present moment, come back to that sound of your breath, that ocean wave sound you're creating, to re-anchor your attention gently back to the present. Know that this is an important part of the practice too, besides the physical poses. Concentration. Listen to one more cycle of breath here before lifting your torso up and coming back to hands and knees. And pause for a few breaths on hands and knees and just let the body unravel from that twist as you observe any sensations passing through. Now, go for symmetry. If you stepped your right foot out to the right on the first side, I invite you to step the left foot out to the left, unless there's something very different happening in your body here. Then inhale, raise your left arm towards the sky. Exhale, thread that arm under your right bent elbow and lower the left side of your head all the way down, using any props to support your head so that you can do this comfortably. Flaring your right elbow towards the sky, press your right hand into the ground to create stability and add a little leverage to the twist. Now imagine the area behind your heart, the backs of your lungs. Fill up that space with your deep inhalations. Then completely relax the area as you breathe out. Continue that for about 7 more breaths. The neck and shoulders are a common area in which we contract and hold tension from mental or emotional stress. Postures like this, thread the needle, help to counteract that and remind the body we don't have to carry this anymore. Couple more deep breaths here. When you're ready to, press into the ground and slowly rise back to hands and knees. Give yourself a few breaths to just observe your body here in a mindful pause. We're going to continue with our spinal twisting. So please set up a blanket or a pillow, maybe both, to trace the midline of your mat towards the front edge of your mat like this. Then have other props nearby that you can reach for just in case you want to add on to that in a moment. Then have a seat with your right outer hip flush against the rear edge of that pillow so that your pelvis is at the center of your mat, but you're facing your left wall. So extend your legs towards your left wall. Now slide your left leg down the rear end of your mat, tracing the midline of the mat. So now your legs look like a capital L shape. Keep your legs there and place your hands along the left and right sides of the pillow. Then turn your chest completely to face the front of your mat, adjusting your pelvis and legs so that you can comfortably do that. Like you might bend the knees, you might swivel the right hip away from the pillow slightly. Once you've completely turned your chest forward, take in a deep breath and lift your heart so you're stretching the front of your torso. Now, breath by breath, gently lower onto the pillow. If you find that the pillow is too low, that's where you could add your additional props, like stack another pillow or blanket, or create an incline by placing blocks or a block underneath the end of the pillow that's closest to the front of your mat. And then you might even want to lie face down. So if you have a blanket to fold up or another yoga block, you can place your forehead on top so that you can breathe easily. So make any adjustments so that you can be in this position for the next 3 minutes in stillness in the most comfortable way possible. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Relax your hands, relax your jaw. Soften your eyes. Feel your pelvic floor, relax that region. Soften your feet. And drop back to the sound rhythm of your breath as you're regulating your mind, energy, and body through Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath. We're down to 2 more minutes here. So this restorative spinal twist is helpful for unwinding tension along the spine, especially the lower back, encouraging digestion to flow more easily as we're sort of wringing out the region of the abdomen. And as with all restorative postures, helps to activate the relaxation response of your nervous system. That's why we want to make sure that you're supported with sufficient props so that you can really surrender efforts in the body. Feel the breath in, slowly expanding, filling you up. And feel the breath out, gently releasing to empty. We have less than a minute left. Slowly begin to press your hands into the ground, leaving the props just as they are. Slowly lift your torso and rise to sit facing the rear edge of your mat, stretching both legs in front of you. Let's pause there for a few breaths, just letting your spine unravel from the twist and observing anything you're feeling in your body here. Is anything shifting energetically, physically? Sense again the quality of your breath. Allow a deeper inhalation. And take your time observing that breath out. Now keep your right leg where it is. Slide your left leg to your left so that it'll actually point towards the right wall of your room, creating an L shape out of your legs. Let your left outer hip touch the back edge of your pillow. Then place your hands along the left and right sides of that pillow again, turning your chest completely to face the front of your mat, adjusting your pelvis and your legs so that you can comfortably do that. You might bend the knees, you might swivel the left hip away from the pillow. And when you're ready, lift your chest, breathe in. Slowly begin to lower your torso onto your props. And notice if on this side of the twist, you might have to rearrange the props, like make them higher, thicker, or less, lower. Check in with your shoulders, your jaw, relax that region. Soften your hands, relax your eyes. Relax your pelvic floor. Relax your feet. Come back to your breath. Slow, gentle breaths. 3 minutes in total will be here.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
You notice any areas of tension coming up. Bring a gentle care to those areas by visualizing your breath in, moving towards them, giving them loving support. And with your breath out, relaxing those regions.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Now let's stay and listen to 2 more cycles of deep breath.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
When you finish the last, take your time pressing your hands into the ground, lifting your head, then your torso slowly. Again, leave your props where they are. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Give yourself a mindful pause to observe how your body is responding right now.
Hare Rama.
So we're going to set up in a hip opening posture called bound angle pose. You might want to use the props that you already have set up, just with some adjustment if needed. So you'll turn to face your pillow, bring the soles of your feet together. You can either lift the pillow and place your feet underneath like this, or if it feels fine on your hips, to have the feet wider so that your soles of your feet are hugging the sides of the pillow. You could do that. Make sure that you're able to sit up tall without rounding the back. If the back is rounding, grab your folded blanket or other prop like it. Make that as thick as you need to elevate your sitting bones on top of, so that your pelvis slightly tilts forward, and by activating the belly gently, you can lift the spine more easily, letting the breath through. So think of creating the most open body that the breath can easily flow through. And then from here, adjusting your props, maybe bring the pillows closer or higher. You could stack 2 blocks underneath. If you want them really high, we're going to prepare to fold forward for another 3 minutes. So actually, I prefer the blocks without the pillow. You can have your heels as close to your pelvis as possible, or you can have the heels as far away from the pelvis, as long as your feet can stay together. They give different sensations in opening the outer hips. So play with it and see which one your body's asking for. And then root your sitting bones, lengthen the front and back of your spine, relax your shoulders, keep your throat and chest open. And then as you're starting to hinge forward, gently engage the belly, so you're supporting the lower back. And then when you arrive to landing your head, or you're hugging a pillow, whatever you're using as props, but you're able to rest your head down and your torso down. Then check in with your body to make sure that it can fully be at rest here for the next 3 minutes. Make any adjustments so that you can feel a sense of symmetry along the left and right sides of your body. Relax the muscles in your face, including your eyes, your jaw and ears. Relax your hands. Relax again your pelvic floor. Relax your feet. And drop into the sound waves of your breathing. Deep inhales. Long exhales. We already have 2.5 minutes left. Let in one more deep breath. And after you slowly let it go, start to press the ground with your hands. Gently lift your head, your torso. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Or if you need to shake out the legs or circle out the feet for a moment, or just move anything gently, feel free. Keep tuning into your breath as you do this. We're going to go a little further into the hip opening by straddling the legs wide. If you have a narrow space, you might turn to face the wide width of your mat if you want to use the whole part of the mat for this. And again, if you find that your back wants to round, elevate your pelvis on your folded blanket or other prop and set up your pillow. You might like the same setup as we had in the twist. If you created an incline like this so that you can bear hug the pillow, maybe put a block underneath your forehead. So use your hands to cup the tops of your thighs and roll your inner thighs back so your two sitting bones can root down as you lift your frontal hip bones. Relax your shoulders, keep your throat open as it's a main passageway for your breath. And take a deep breath in. Keep your knees and toes pointing up and start to bow from your hips. Feel free to add more pillows, more props if you're needing them to be higher to catch you so that you're not straining. This time we're only going to be here for 2 minutes, so right away, be still. Make any gentle adjustments so that you can relax into this position. Land your awareness onto the waves of your breath again. listen to one more deep breath before you start to lift your body up again. Remember to be gentle as you transition out. All right, so we're down to our final resting pose. You have quite a few props around you, so find a way to comfortably support your body in the most restful position lying down. If you have any stiffness in the lower back, or you just want to give it more ease, you can place either a rolled up blanket or a long pillow underneath the backs of your knees like this. I like to shake out the legs for a moment and really just let them flop so the feet are wider than the hips, and you can relax the muscles in the legs. And then as you're lying back, if you're needing a little more lift in the chest, a little more physical heart opening, you might use your two blocks, one underneath the back of your skull on the tallest height, and one underneath the area that's right underneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, right about here, on the medium height, crossing the mat, so that as your pelvis remains on the floor, you can slowly lower onto the first block. The shoulder bones roll off of the blocks into the space between, and the back of your skull is on the furthest block. And if you're needing even more lift in the chest, you can tilt the block that's under your skull 1 or 2 steps lower. And then by rotating the shoulders back and turning your palms to face up, down beside your legs, you can help to further broaden your heart space. Now, to help ground yourself, you can take the weight of another pillow or folded blanket and place that over your pelvis, belly, and legs. If you have anything to cover your eyes with, that can also be soothing to help you rest into stillness. Sometimes the weight of other pillows, even on your forearms or other parts of your body, can also feel relaxing and grounding. They create a sense of safety for some people. And then make any little adjustments so that, again, you're inviting symmetry or balance along the left and right hemispheres of your body. Shoulders can relax, the heart space feels open, inviting the lungs to expand. And let's drop into a short breathing technique that we can do lying down to help relax, and then we'll let go of controlling the breath afterwards. So close your eyes if that feels okay with you, and we'll continue to breathe with the lips closed. I'll count to 5 or from 5, and I'll invite you to breathe into your stomach and into your lungs. Then I'll count from 7, in which we'll exhale everything out, relaxing the belly. So this is belly breathing, but lifting the breath to the lungs too. So empty this breath to prepare. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Let the breath flow naturally. And with each natural exhalation, feel your body sinking deeper and deeper into relaxation. And with each natural inhalation, allow yourself as loving awareness to expand greater and greater in the present moment. We'll be here for a few minutes in Shavasana before meditation. Continue to rest your body here with your eyes closed. And begin to scan your body once again, noticing its overall feeling and how it's responding to your physical yoga practice. Then being very gentle with yourself, start to wiggle your fingers. Gently begin to turn your head in any direction, easing into subtle movement. Maybe wiggle the toes, start to circle your hands. And graduate into larger parts of your body, stretching your legs, your arms. And maybe keeping your eyes closed as you gradually turn over onto your right side, resting your head for a moment. Sensing your breath flowing naturally. Like we did at the start, feel its qualities now. And tune into the way you feel energetically. And take your time lifting your body up into a comfortable seated position. You might like to sit on a pillow or a chair, preparing to sit for about 10 minutes in guided meditation. So sitting in a way that you can be upright in your spine, again, where the breath can flow most easily, naturally, where your two sitting bones are evenly grounded, and you can relax. You might choose to place your hands, just like a yoga pose, mudras, gestures of the hands and other parts of the body are ways to cultivate a certain feeling tone, a bhavanam. So one mudra that helps to open up the heart center is called lotus mudra. And if you'd like to try it, you bring the heels of your palms together, the inner edges of your thumbs together, the inner edges of your pinky fingers together, and then peeling the other fingers open like the petals of a lotus blossoming. Then you land your thumb tips to rest at your sternum. And you might imagine here as we begin our meditation now, close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead on one spot. You might imagine that through the lotus, if you're using the mudra, entering your heart space, your heart cave, is this nourishing, warm, green, glowing light. That is the color in vibration with the heart chakra. Pouring in like a gentle, warm waterfall as you naturally breathe in, receiving that loving light. And as it enters your heart cave, it awakens the qualities of your heart like love, joy, compassion, peace, forgiveness, playfulness, nurturance. Each time you breathe in, that heart space receives even more of that warm, nourishing green light, awakening the energy of your heart chakra. Like a sweet honey and nectar. And now as you breathe out naturally, you get to decide where to spread that glowing, healing light. Notice whether parts of your body might be wanting a little more loving attention or release of tension or feeling of vitality and peace. In your mind's eye, with each exhalation, spread that warm light from your heart center into the other crevices of your body, asking for your support. The energy of your heart is infinite and limitless. So spread it generously. Are there thoughts that no longer serve your well-being, that you could bring that light of energy up to your brain, up to your mind, and bring a sense of peace, tranquility, lightness, clarity? Continue with each inhale, receiving the light, and with each exhale, spreading the light. Until your whole body, your whole human body is glowing that pure, green, unconditional love. And when you sense your figurative cup is full, decide where else to pour that energy, to whom else to share this loving light with. Picture them. Remember, it's unlimited. Go as vast and deep as you can imagine, sharing your lights, sharing this healing love. You can share it with those you know intimately, with those who are acquaintances, and with those whom you've never met. Have fun sharing this light. Maybe it even brings a smile to your face, a smile to your heart. Remember that the source of this light is infinite, and you can access it anytime you remember to. So whenever you might start to feel depleted, come back to the space you're in now and remember your light. Notice the way you feel mentally and emotionally at this point. And what's one thing you could offer gratitude for? From that space, remind yourself out loud or mentally what your intention was for this practice. And remember to whom or what you chose to share the benefits of it with, who you dedicated this practice to. In closing, I invite you to chant with me the seed sound or the bija mantra of your heart energy center of Anahata Chakra, and that is the sound you might make when you taste something delicious. Bring that feeling tone of deliciousness too. And it's yum, yum. So let's chant that together to close 3 times. Inhale, fill up your lungs and heart space. Yum. 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 Bow in towards your light. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.